Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mead, Lean and Fit, or Fit and Lean, whatever it's called. It's the Mead channel where I want to inspire others to get lean and healthy. You know, folks, I am in my, well, let's just say I'm a little bit over the hill, and I'm trying to get in better shape to really finally get lean and healthy because I guess you could say I'm a professional. Loser in weight loss. I'm a weight loss professional. I've been struggling with my weight for years, ever since really I was 12 years old. So that makes it what, 30, 30 some years of struggling with my weight, and I'm trying to get right with it. So we're going to get lean and healthy on this channel and hold me accountable. And thank you for joining me. If you're new to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now, on this very first video in my Lean and Fit channel, I would like to share with you some Mead healthy eating tips. Now, these aren't just eating habits or tips, but they're sort of also weight loss suggestions. Now, when we say weight loss, we really mean fat loss to help you along in your weight loss, fat loss journey. And I wrote it out many years ago in 2011 in my old weight loss blog, but I thought it was very pertinent today. So I'm gonna share that with y'all and read some of my very 10 healthy meat tips for healthy eating. And well, we'll get to the not just eating, but for healthy, being healthy. And also, you know, a tip or two that has nothing to do with food, but something that might help you feel better while you're trying to lose weight, you know, because nobody talks about what to do in the meantime when you're still a big old porker, right? Now, they used to call me a porker when I was a young, and hey, porker, they called me as I walked down the hall. No, I really wasn't very small. But my addiction to sugary foods is really what did me in. I love that sugary sweet tea and Cokes, lots of Cokes growing up. Dr. Pepper, Sprite, all the Cokes you can name, I was drinking it. And also, I love Snapple. I loved Snapple when I was young, and then we also had a membership to Sam's Club, no Price Club. Well, it was Price Club then. Now it's Sam's Club, and we would buy by the truckload. We would buy Mexican pizzas and all these processed foods that aren't really good for you. So I do recommend you get away from a highly processed diet and turn to whole foods. But if you can't get whole foods, there are better options in the processed food market. Now, I will say this about processed food. You are a lot less likely to get food poisoning from a processed food than you are one of those worm-infested organic meals. But let's go on to some 10 tips for a healthy you. And I hope this helps you on your weight loss journey. So, as y'all know, now on to Mead's meal plan. I try to eat everything in moderation, but that means I can have my cake and eat it too, because I do have a tendency to put on weight. I always have to limit sugar the most, but sugar is really bad for us, folks. It's really bad, and it makes us want to store fat. Total calorie consumption is only part of the equation. And you have to make sure that you limit your sugars to less than 10% of your total diet. Luckily for me, instead of storing a big pot belly, I got a lot of junk in the trunk. But I also have stretch marks that would make most pregnant women weep. But I'm able to maintain a relatively healthy weight at just 70 pounds over what is considered obese. So let's go on to my 10 healthy eating habits for a healthier you. Are we ready? I hope so. Here we go. All right. So number one is the two limit sweet tea soft drink rule. Now, we all like to have our Cokes and sweet tea, right? When we go out to restaurants, and usually our waitress never hesitates to offer us refills. But sadly, sweet tea and Cokes contain a lot of calories. Just one 8-ounce glass of sweet tea usually yields 90 calories, and one 8-ounce Coke is about 150. The average size at restaurant glasses is 16 ounces. So by the time you wash down your third Dr. Pepper, you've had a whopping 350 calories. Be sure and have a 2-drink limit when eating out. After they try to pour you another drink, say, "No thanks, I've got to drive home tonight." And wink, wink, that usually works for me. Try to stuff yourself with the bread and pile on the butter so you don't drink as much Coke. That way you can fill yourself up on the appetizers. All right. Number two, only have cake for all you cake lovers. Only have it 3 times a week. Have cake only 3 times a week. Okay. This is much better alternative than having it every day. I yes, I'm serious. I usually buy one of the leftover slices at my local grocery store and have it 3 times a week as a post-workout treat. It really satisfies. Now, number three, drink 3 big glasses of water before bed. 3 big glasses of water before bedtime makes you feel so full you won't have to raid the ice box for midnight snack. Of course, sometimes you might have to change your sheets the next morning. But I do also recommend if you're someone who doesn't like water, I love to put a little lemon or lime in that water. It's so good and it makes you want to drink water and it also detoxifies. So a little bit of lemon or lime in the water will help you detoxify and make you feel a lot less bloated and get rid of some of that toxins in your body. So drink water, water, water whenever you can in place of other things. All right, number four, no more than 1 cookie a day. Now, a cookie a day keeps the doctor away, I always say, but 1 cookie a day gives you the oral satisfaction you need from the cookie without the guilt. You know, if you buy a whole box of cookies like Chips Ahoy and you eat the whole dang thing, then you're really going to regret it the next day, right? So I only recommend 1 cookie a day. That's my limit, okay. Preferably no cookies a day, but we're all starting out, folks, right? All right, number five, remind yourself how poor you are, okay? When you remind yourself how little money you have, true or not, it helps you cut back on how much food you buy and keeps it in check. I call it the inflation plan. Remind yourself you can only eat what you can truly afford and never buy on credit. So for all you people on food stamps, you better, buckle up, okay? Number six, try to get at least 1 serving of fruits and vegetables a day. Daily. And I always try to stick a cucumber in my mouth before supper on one of those Oriental prepackaged stir-fried meals. Make sure it's MSG free. And you can always munch on apples or carrots too. Lots of carrots give your skin that George Hamilton glow that we all want, right? But I always try to get at least this one vegetable a day. If you hate vegetables, now I've learned to love spinach, and I like cream spinach. And I can mix it, add a little olive oil for flavor, and it really tastes great. All right, number seven. Now, this is sort of a eating tip. Okay, think of disgusting, hideous images. Now, I know this sounds kind of silly, but the next time you want to, wolf down that candy bar or eat that fried chicken, think of the most awful, disgusting things you can. It surely will cut back on your appetite. One time I got a craving for a Big Mac, so I just Googled murder victim and it was completely mortified. Or, drowning victim, that'll really do it for you. Or just look up 9/11, that'll help you. So it just, once you see a crime scene, it kind of, gets you over the hunger. I know it sounds a little strange, but a little gore goes a long way. So number 8, chew each bite 32 times. Now this is very important because a lot of people ate way too fast. A lot of people eat like they're about to be executed, and you don't want to do that. So you want to chew each bite 32 times to help your stomach and brain negotiate with each other to let you know if you're eating too much. And you want to taste the pleasure. You want to get pleasure from food and not just mindless eating. That's the worst thing you could do is snacking. Okay, I totally recommend don't snack. If you have to snack, have plan it out. Because if you just go down the kitchen and you just aimlessly wander for those cookies, okay, it's going to make you just eat and eat and eat, and you never stop. It's like a bottomless pit. But if you learn to chew each bite 32 times, learn to taste that chicken before you swallow. All right, number 9, flush it out. Okay, now this is a little gross, folks, but did you know that you have at least 25 pounds of fecal matter that you carry around with you every day. But by drinking lots of water and taking an X-Lax or two, you can really cut back on the bloats. Yeah. So Metamucil shakes are becoming increasingly popular these days. I also avoid things that slow down my system, like red meats and dairy. I make a prune whip that does wonders for me. And you can always look into other ways of getting in that fiber, because so many people today do not eat enough fiber. And fiber helps you feel full and helps you get things moving along. And so I recommend having whole grains, whole oats. Avoid the sugars because you don't want that diabetes. But try to avoid excess sugar, but try to get enough. Don't have granola. That's the worst thing you do. Granola is really bad for you folks. Have something like whole grains, whole oats. Anything that is whole, and that will help you along. All right. Now the last thing is really just a tip for when you're in the process of losing weight and you really don't like your body. So what I use are compression shirts, like compression garments. You can buy them on Amazon, at Walmart's for like not even $20, and I prefer the V-neck. It's like a T-shirt. You wear it under your clothes, and what it really does is it helps with loose skin. It helps your skin, like the elastin in your skin. Like our skin is like our bodies are very malleable, like we're clay almost. And if you don't like all those rolls and all those lumps, you can use compression undergarments to help as you're losing weight. And that should actually make your skin not be as bad when you get loose skin, because people don't compress it enough. The skin can be, you can mold it into your shape that you want. And so I recommend using compression garments. I know they're not for everybody, but it's really helped me, folks, in keeping my, keeping myself in check. I like using compression garments for that reason. Okay, so that's just to get my channel started. I want to share with y'all some tips to help you in the battle of the bulge, because we all have that, right, folks? So remember, folks, less sugar, less processed foods, more fiber, more whole foods. And just don't think of horrible, nasty things if you have to. I know it sounds silly, but when you see those bloat victims or those people, like blobs on the street on 9/11, and not to make light of that, but it just really helps keep your appetite in check. There are starving people in Ethiopia, and these children are all bloated and they got flies crawling all over them. And when you see an image of that, you're less likely to go for that second helping of, creme brulee or chicken and dumplings, And some food actually looks like excrement, It's so bizarre, but, some food looks like vomit. I've seen food that looks like human insides. Maybe it is human insides these days, who knows? But it really helps me control my appetite when I think of dirty, disgusting, filthy things. Hillary Clinton comes to mind. So thank you all for watching. I hope that helps you, get started on your weight loss journey. I'll be uploading some videos now. I don't know if my local Planet Fitness will allow me to, but if I can, I'm going to record some of my training sessions that I actually went to a personal trainer about 10 years ago, and he taught me a lot of good tips on how to, lift those weights. And if y'all can see, so I've got pretty good, I've got some muscle in there. I got to work on it, folks, because it's kind of, it's been a while, but I'm getting back into it. I'm already back into benching. I can bench 225, which is pretty good, especially for my age. So we'll see what we can do, but y'all stay tuned for more, and go to my website at meetskeletonsplace.com. And remember, folks, say a prayer for someone special today. Bye-bye.